but he hasn't been able to pick up anything in quite a while. He was able to max his CDR at 40%. And you guys can't burst him down quick enough, and he's able to Zhonya's. The rest of CJ Frost is attacking you, so it's really a crucial point for IG, but luckily for them, PDD does have that Zhonya's done, and he has so much damage behind him with it. I'm assuming he's going to be building a little bit tanky right after this, though.
Yeah, I expect so as well. Illusion just having a look up in the enemy jungle. That Oracle from earlier still running. Allows him to keep the vision war going on their side of things. A lot of pink wards as well here. 3 in their own jungle on the top side of the map. IG really relying on them to make sure that they can maintain the control here. If we look at the goal, 5,000 between the two teams. 4-2 in turrets, 11-8 in kills. Both AD carries have 4 of those kills each as well.
Yeah, that's a great sign for both those teams, but at noon, he's only at 1-3-2 right now. He's not falling as far behind as he was prior, only down 70 CS right now, but Frost, they're actually looking for the gauge here. Shy's going in.
Yeah, going in for that one. They're going to try and hold down ZZ Tai first of all. There's the hook on towards Kid Fizz coming from the back, but McNoon's dead. McNoon dying out from that one. Are they going to be able to finish off now? Space is low. The Cullen ripping through him, and there is Kid picking up another one. Shy has had to back away, and Helios, he escaped on the top side of the jungle. But look at this. They're just going to tank up the turret as long as they can. Love Cryboy can't afford to tank that one up, but PDD will take the brunt of the damage. ZZ Tai then comes in for another one, but as the minions come down, IG going to take an inhib turret and an inhibitor.
And just as you called it earlier, Joe, that fear coming on McNoon. They had the damage to respond to, able to blow him up immediately, and then there goes so much of their damage. He wasn't even able to get his entire combo up. But right now, IG with the inhibitor being down, this opens up the possibility of the Baron, and that opens.
This is going to come out here for McNoon, but the fact is that he's finished. Off before the fear stops, and have to wonder whether a Banshee's longest to cooldowns either. Illusion.
Look at that fear.
Yeah, it's like
now, not before a team fight breaks out, especially with that middle inhibitor down. But you're seeing McNoon still split push away. The thing is, I don't know if it's going to be enough to, because IG can go for Baron right now, or they can just push another lane.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, split push if you've got that teleport in there, like we... Oh, not really a teleport, but the Stan United from Shen earlier on. All well and good, but the fact is here that they're going to be coming blind towards Baron now because IG have cleared that out completely. And they're setting up a trap. Oh, ZZ Tai showing himself. Helios flashing away from that one. Don't think he meant to actually step out from the brush there.
Probably not, but they're going to push down middle, it looks like. And they saw McNoon bottom, and they made a call to go for Baron to bait it in. Shy's even going to join McNoon, as you can see on the mini-map, but they're starting to back out. They realize what's coming at them, and IG, they can take advantage of this because no one in Frost's side is even in the base yet.
Yeah, forcing the recall out from that one. Space and Helios there off to the side, going to be recalling in, and IG have pushed the wave right on through. Super Minions, of course, included in that now as well. And it means that this top inner turret is going to be the next focus for them. They clear out waves so very quickly. Helios here, the first one into position. But look at Illusion. He's the key man, I think, coming in from this one. Just waiting off to the side.
Oh, no.
Jumps into things. Ooh. Illusion at the front side, looking for that fear. He'll go for the fear onto anyone that he possibly can. Dash McNoon does get the Zhonya's off this time, but he's not going to escape it. He gets feared up after the Zonyas. That is definitely one way to do it. Just wait until after his Zonyas and then fear him.
Well, the thing was, no, Illusion flash feared him under that turret when it fell down, but he was alive long enough that he has fear cooldown return, and he was able to fear him yet again. And you saw right there, Matt Noon is just getting locked down. Completely. PDD Zonya's the ultimate come out of him, and they just all turned for him.
Leaves us at 15-9, an 8,600 gold lead down here, and it's going to force Kid to actually stick around just to make sure that Frost don't go in there for a bit of a Ninja Baron attempt.
Yeah, that was a smart play by him to stop that. That could be one thing that turns this around in space. He's
an Oracle on there as well, so that completely counters that one as the barrels come throwing down. Shy at the front is able to double jump thanks to those bushes. One of them coming in space. They walk straight past that.
Because that was the first time I think I've even seen it do that much, and he was able to play that one so well with that red buff, letting it take over to kill Helios, able to turn. Stopped from middle. If they let this inhibitor fall and the middle one drop, like between those 2 points, A and B, they have to fight.
Well, let's see. We see there the dark wind going in. That in itself is a map what his fear has, obviously. We've seen in those previous fights, Magnoon not really standing much of a chance to stay alive in things, and IG line up on the steps, ready for those minions to come in so that they can continue to push through, and the poke as well, which you've not really touched on here from IG, is pretty opposite from Hamming. There's a barrel coming in. He's going to drop Helios low. There's a hook actually on PDD, but that's not really the target that they want. Tidal Wave comes around to get in there, take down the inhibitor turret. The inhibit itself will go down. The mid inhib will be finished off straight after that one, and that's 2 out of 3 now picked off. Frost not looking. I mean, you've got to say, this kind of position, 2 inhibs down, is so hard to come back from.
He's looking for an engage, though, but he's right next to Illusion. He can get feared out of this.
Yeah, and I think he realized that one. And also seeing the fact that they've all regened back to full HP. They didn't really even lose much in that last fight. And IG just using their positional advantage to their better side and pushing down this top lane. That's, of course, the only place where we have an inhibitor standing. And that turret itself is already below. Hot Matter is zoned out Frost completely from that one. We will see Magnoon diving off, knocks him down to half HP. Magnoon will then use his Zonyas. PDD falling low, and Magnoon's now right on top of them all. Here's another fear onto him. He then finally falls down. That's only a 1-for-1 up till now, but Kid is not finished here. Turns around, gets himself the double. Can he get more? No. Gets finished off here, but that's going to be inhibitor number 3.
And look at those death timers, pretty much 45 seconds on Magnoon. Everyone else at that same point as well. They're going to get the 3rd inhibitor, but I don't know if they can finish it just yet. Shy is still very strong and very tanky right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they really need to risk it at this point either. You see that they do stick around here somewhat. The fear onto any of them could cause them problems as Easy Type goes incredibly deep there to get things going. The super minions start to move in, and they're going to have a good amount of damage here onto these turrets. There is the fear onto Helios. Can they finish him off? Barrel comes in. Actually, he threw it behind him in the end, and they should be able to hold on at least for now. There's a barrel coming in, doubling up, and Helios kind of left wondering what happened.
I'm left wondering what happened right there, but the damage that he can do was
Look
ridiculous.
At these towers, how fast they're going down. I'm not sure they can stop this one. Mad Life comes in, the Flate will at least do some damage, but they've lost that first Nexus turret. Holding on to that is so incredibly hard.
Well, we did see in that last fight, though, for Frost, that when Macnoon didn't get feared right away, he can do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
He can stay in there for quite a while. It was just unfortunate that the IG team all had Baron against him, and they still got him so low at that point. PDD, he's dancing. He's being very aggressive. He's being very ballsy right there.
Well,
or
I think he's like, well, if they're going to chase me out, they're going to lose a bit on that of super minions. And there's a lot to deal with. That means that PDD is feeling very confident to just stand on the steps of the base, keep the waves pushing on in. And now finally, the rest of IG start to come back after that last shopping trip with Guardian Angel for ZZ TAIWAN Gragas. There's two Zonyas now in the IG lineup, and they're just going to close in. They're looking to finish it right here.
And they don't really have a hard time doing it. Illusion, he's looking for a fear here, and he actually lands on the Helios.
Yeah, turret going down. Macnoon trying to get in there. The tidal wave coming across the front of him, and Illusion's right in there as well. He's ulting in. Space going to go very low. Helios puts down the absolute zero. Illusion just baiting out the Zonyas, and those super minions hammering away on the base. Illusion actually finishes off Helios before he turns back around. Space trying to hold in there, but this is just too much. IG going to finish off the Nexus and become the Intel Extreme Masters Singapore. Solid performance throughout, and you know, shaky start to game number one. People hold of it, very control play, only fighting really when it made sense to them.
We saw him get that blue a little bit earlier, one of the first blues. He ganked top twice in a row with that ultimate, was able to shut down Shy a little bit. But his fears in these team fights, like that single-handedly won the most of these fights because he kept Macnoon locked up.
Respect between these two teams, PDD and Macnoon, having a joke around, but doesn't matter who you are and what your personality is like. Losing in a final is never an easy thing to swallow. Obviously disappointed here, but you have to say that was an incredibly...
He's a good, well, Illusion's a good player, but over the course of these 2 days, he's played Fiddlesticks to the next level. Just even the item choices he went for, he had a Banshee's Veil, he had the Ionian Boots, had a Phoenix Codex left there just for that 40% CDR, and then a Zonius. Like, just his path, his entire ganking was just perfect.
And that's why it's so scary, and why we see him banned out so often or taken away at the earliest possible stages. I mean, 4-1-16 in the end. With that 40% cooldown, you have fear after fear after fear. You've got a group silence. Your ultimate's doing big amounts of damage with the items that you've got coming in there. So really, really well played by IG. A thoroughly deserved victory. And also not losing a single game on their way to becoming the champions here in Singapore.
Yeah, 2-0 TPS, 2-0 CJ Frost, and in that game as well. I mean, considering Love Cry Boy is actually a sub for them here, finished off 1-3-22. He was in 23 out of the 27 kills.
We'll see if he stays a sub, because honestly, a brilliant performance from there on Nami. 1-3-22, as he said in the end. His ward coverage, both games, was really, really spot on. He didn't get caught out putting wards down. I mean, for a substitute to come in with a sub and win a tournament, that is just such an incredible feat.
Yeah, and the thing was, he invested so much money into pink wards the entire time, but where he put them were so perfect that he didn't waste the money at all. He was able to, you know, see anyone coming through the jungle. He was able to clear out the wards, give him the vision that they needed for Illusion to make these engages happen with the fears, and it gave him the victory.
And Kid as well, I just want to touch on his performance. 11-3-10 with Lucian. So in game number one with Ezreal, that incredible kite moment up on the top lane. And again, he pulled out some amazing plays for us here in game number 2. ZZ Tai 6-2-9 on Gragas, not quite the ridiculous score
13-0-11 or something.
Yeah, 13-0-11. That you just don't see that very often with the Oriana. And PDD, solid as ever in that top lane. Game number 1, played the Shen, fell behind, was behind in CS, slowly, clawed that back after his outer turret went down early, and then became just a completely unstoppable machine, split pushing and opening up the map for his team.
And we can't forget about what happened to him very early on in this game. He got, dove 2v1. He was still able to pick up a kill and survive and almost kill Helios on top of that. Like, having a top laner that can do that, stay alive, pick up a kill, then get a huge advantage in your lane is something you really can't lose in a team.
I'd be really interested to see who you guys at home have been voting for, actually, as the MVP.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, who's my personal MVP for this one? And there was a lot of good plays from a lot of different teams, and I don't think I can think of one. I mean, Zonda, for me, on that Rengar in the games he constantly played, he was just immovable. He was so hard to deal with, and then, I mean, Shy yesterday against Saigon Jokers with his Riven top lane, he just split pushed throughout the entire game. I mean, there's so many good players here, and that's what I love about Intel Extreme Masters, Cologne and Singapore recently, is that we've had these top teams coming in, and it's nice to see these international tournaments happening again.
Well, guys, that's it from me and Jason at the Cassidus. Thank you very, very much for tuning in over the course of the weekend. But we're going to be going to a quick commercial break here. Anyway, the winner's ceremony is coming up next.